This stock will surprise everyone. The ticker is FTI. It's Technip FMC. It's a mouthful. It's a combination of a French and American oil and gas company that's now located in the UK. They have revenues in the tens of billions, over 10 billion. And revenue is up year over year. Earnings per share is up year over year. They have multi-$100 million contracts with Shell and BP. And they're using AI for predictive maintenance for their offshore oil and wind farm rigs, as well as to simulate basically what those rigs look like and, what could happen to them if they're out there for a long time. I don't totally understand how this is really AI, but we're using AI for everything these days, so they're trying as well. Let's jump into the chart. This is a surprise stock. I've never heard of it, but the chart looks great and the earnings results look awesome. This is not financial advice. Here we go.
This is Sam Putnam. This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
So this is how they're using the AI. Predictive maintenance. I get that. That's a real thing. You basically can put sensors down, underwater sensors, I guess, in this case, on your oil rig, literally the rig. And they're also using it, though, to create like a simulation of the rigs. And then I guess we're going to call that AI. I get, it's definitely an attempt to jump on the bandwagon, but that's not really why this company is so interesting. It's interesting because this Q3 revenue is up year over year, and the earnings per share beat as well. So they did get this, analyst upgrade from Citi. So that's a real company. It's higher than the current price. And this is the chart, and this is the reaction. So it came out of this little flag after earnings, and there is an opportunity to get it. Maybe it'll come back and give an even more favorable buy opportunity off this sort of $41 shelf, no pun intended. And this oil company is up a lot since April, 70%. And I was trying to sort of, rectify that with the price of oil going down, since that you would think they would be a little more closely linked. But there's some other tailwinds. So these are the tailwinds for the sector. There's a lot of tailwinds. And they're also using those rigs for wind farms as well. So they're not as exposed to just the price of oil. There's a lot of CapEx in oil field services. That's what I guess this is called, the actual manufactured rigs and wind farm subsea infrastructure. The market's expected to grow. It's up to almost 50 billion in the next couple of years. So this isn't like the $1 trillion AI spend market, but you know what? There's just not a lot of opportunities to just throw money at NVIDIA when it's all the way up over $200 when earnings are coming up. If you want to bet on these AI companies, well, sometimes you're going to get hit by unexpected tax sort of recognitions. That's why Meta's down. And if you want to get into the speculation names, I mean, some of them are okay. Applied Digital is an opportunity up here. But even the opportunities are up a lot already, 700%. And if you try to get in some of the, picks and shovels, Oracle, which houses the servers, they had in here news come out that they don't have as much of a margin as was expected. And since then, they've just sort of drifted down after initially there was, good solid earnings. And then turns out this thing is down. So that needs to turn up for NBIS to turn up. And then in terms of other AI related companies, I'm talking about this just to highlight how it's good to give these a rest. CoreWeave holding in here, this thing just can't go. And it just came out that Core Scientific is not going to be acquired. They voted not to get acquired by CoreWeave. So that's bearish for CoreWeave, maybe bullish for Cores. It's up above that acquisition price, which was in here. This was to sell the news on that. And so now CoreWeave isn't going up. CoreWeave has earnings coming up. All this to say, maybe you have to look over at some different stocks. And if you look at ExxonMobil, yeah, this thing is slow. Put it in your grandma's portfolio. It moves 1% a day. But there are some opportunities over in oil that do move. This is 4% a day. This earnings reaction is solid. Here you can see how it just marched up after that. This is the kind of move you like to see on earnings. It's a high volume day. And sure, it gave back a little, some profit taking, but since it got over that level, this is why so often this close on earnings day is so powerful. As a high volume, there's a high volume day here. This is the close, and you can see that level just held, pretty much held. I mean, it went below a little, and then just took off. So that's why you can risk a little, make a lot. And I do think this breakout, in an environment where breakouts are not really working, I mean, we'll see, but AVAV looks like this might not, be materializing. And then some of these companies have gone absolutely euphoric. These uranium companies, like, what are you going to do? Buy this up here on this sort of bounce? This is probably going to roll over. So there's only so many different parts of the AI stack, nuclear. This is pretty much as many as I can think of. Connectivity, LUMN, like, you're definitely not going to buy that at this point. So that's pretty much every piece of the AI stack I can think of. Connectivity, power, other power generation, VST, GEV. These are not super constructive. They're kind of sloping down, if anything. MicroStrategy, they just keep diluting this, selling their shares to buy Bitcoin, I guess. So you have to look in different places to get creative here. And I think FTI is the place to look. So this is that recovery. This is the level, and you break out from there. So a little bit more about, and just to check in on MicroStrategy, I mean, Bitcoin does not look so hot. Ethereum not really looking great either. So that's why we're talking about this. That seems important to set the stage for why we're talking about an entire market that's only 50 billion. Because that's where the money, the money has to flow into something. It's not in gold anymore. I mean, gold sold off. Maybe it'll, it's always a safe haven, but maybe it'll bounce here. Maybe it won't. These gold miners, if earnings coming up, but I don't want to buy that before earnings, right? I mean, it just came down a lot. So everything's sort of taking a breather, and quantum, just to round it out, no exception as well. Rare earths as well. Like, this is quite the move down. So FDI is the idea, and I promise not to look at any other companies till we finish out and explain why I'm looking at this one right now. There is some just more investment here, and it seems like people are generally focusing on this. There's a lot of sort of requests for proposals, I guess, lots of money flowing in here, and the more contractors are trained for this, the more that they can install these systems. So, I'm not saying hold this for the next year or not. I'm just saying that if there is a company to buy in subsea systems, which again is a newish sector to me, this seems like the best looking company. So it's other companies that you want to look at are on drilling, maybe repairing the rigs, running the equipment, or having the geologic, the well expertise. But in terms of actually building up the rigs, I think FTI seems like it's the one to look at. So these are the ones that you may have heard of. Halliburton, I had heard of, right? The contractor that is associated with war as well, but they're all turning up. So if you look at Halliburton, if you look at OLL, NOV, sort of turning up. BKR, I think that's not quite right, was it? Yeah, BKR, Baker Hughes, also turning up as well. So there's definitely interest in these companies. They move a little bit slow, a little bit choppy to get into, but a ton of liquidity. I mean, $500 million a day. This earnings reaction is a little messy, so I do think this is the cleanest earnings reaction that I saw in this sector. And if you just follow these along, this is OII, that's why I couldn't find it. Yeah, they're up since the tariff flows. Another messy earnings reaction, but this seems to be the place to speculate. And I think it's one of the safer sectors to speculate in right now, given that the earnings were so strong. Improving profitability, big contracts that I mentioned. Here are some of the different, this is the actual merger. They did have a contract with BP and Shell up here. This is the bigger contract. It's over $1 billion. I just didn't recognize this name, Total Energies. So that's their biggest contract. But yeah, they did also have the BP contract as well as names that are more familiar, Shell. So it's certainly in the discussion with the big companies that we know as consumers buying gas. So I think it's worth looking at, even though it's not actually located in the US. It's just on the, what is it, the NASDAQ? The New York Stock Exchange, okay? And working with the huge companies that we are familiar with. XOM, again, you can buy a stock like this, but I mean, you'd have to wait for this to have earnings. And again, it just moves so slowly. So FDI is the ticker. If you like these ideas, hit that like button. There are a lot of stocks cooling off right now. A lot of stocks going through the middle of earnings. So September was crazy in terms of opportunities. It's kind of time to chill a little bit, but it's still a bull market. If you want to see more videos, hit that subscribe button. I'll keep coming up with ideas. And if you want to work with me, head over to stockscommunity.com. And if you're in there, I'll see you in the Discord tomorrow morning. See you in the next one.
This is Sam Putnam. This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.